Hey guys, this is TechGuy276, and this is my ʻnwɑːr review.
Up to it, boys. We got bad guys to catch.
Why is this game only £2? It astounds me sometimes that these games actually go for very, very cheap prices. I picked up Tomb Raider the other day for £4, and I know it's been out for a couple of years now, and maybe the reviews haven't been great for it, but £2 and £4 for games like these.
Drivers beat up. Not too bad.
Rockstar are at it again, and now they've created a new IP, which is obviously ʻnwɑːr, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, the team that actually created it, Team Bondi, have actually shut down by now. I think it was because of a funding issue with THQ, and then Rockstar didn't really pick up the rights properly. I'm not really sure of the entire deal.
Where did you find them?
ʻnwɑːr is a game that's mission by mission basis. Each case takes around 30 minutes to complete, or even 2 hours, depending on how many clues or leads you've got on the case. It's a great game, and it's fantastic playing on the other side of the law versus GTA 5, where you're the one causing havoc, but this time you're on the police side. You're solving every crime that comes to your feet. The gameplay is brilliant. The crime actual scene itself isn't one of my favourite aspects of the game.
Drunk driver?
Looking around the crime scene, trying to find items relating to the case, this can range from you being in the house or literally checking every area down to the smallest pin.
Alas,
your controller will vibrate when you get to a certain item that you can actually pick up, but if it's actually useful to the case,
is it real?
then it'll be added to your notebook. But if it's not actually useful to the case, the character will actually say, I don't really need this, or this doesn't really relate to the case. So you can pick up the item, and you can scan for it, and you can rotate it around. So once you rotate it around, you'll be able to see different little things of the item itself. So you might see a certain name on like a flute or something, or you might see someone's size of feet. And then that later plays on with the game, with the concept of the game. I am actually late to the ʻnwɑːr game. I've recently just played it. Obviously, I'm doing the review now. And the motion capture, the face motion capture, is really going over my head. Even though it's fantastic, I'm a little bit late to it. So I'm used to games being fantastic face animations, such as GTA 5, later on games like the PS4, like Uncharted 4, the facial animations are spectacular. For the Xbox 360 version of the game is split up into 3 discs, and once you get halfway through the first disc, the game becomes really repetitive, and nothing much changes. Every time you finish a case, the dopamine kicks in your brain, and then you've gone, yeah, you've successfully solved the case. But basically, you go to the police station, retrieve the case, you go to the crime scene, you gather some evidence, you gain a report, find a piece of evidence with a name on it, find where that person lives, or the bar that they have attended the night before, track down that person, asking a few questions, gain some knowledge on another suspect, arrive at their house, and either you go up to them or ask them a few questions, or they decide to run for it. Take the other suspect that crops up to the police station, interrogate them both, and then pick the criminal that you think is actually the one that actually did the murder, or they did the stealing of the items. Even though the game is really repetitive, it's still a very great game to play. I highly would recommend it. At the moment, I picked it up from my local games shop in Wigan for £1.99, so I've literally got nothing to complain about. I'll be leaving the most of the story out of this, and I'll just be basically talking about the gameplay and the graphics. One little thing is the driving mechanic. Driving a car in the game felt like you were driving a Hot Wheels car, where if you were driving the car and you move left with the analog stick, your car would move left. And I know that sounds very strange for me to say, but there'd be no literally weight on the car, there'd be no weight to your movements. So whereas GTA 4, you'd use your handbrake and you'd use a series of brakes to drift around the corner, and most of the time in GTA 4 you'd be sliding across and you'd be drifting. And in GTA 5, it's roughly the same thing, but with less weight and less justification for the actual drift itself. Like in GTA 5, you actually force the drift, but in GTA 4, you don't force the drift. You just do it naturally as you're driving. But in LA Noire, it's entirely the opposite to GTA 4. No, every car that you have doesn't have any weight, so you can literally turn left straight away. Doesn't matter what speed you're going, you can turn left straight away, and you've got no problem with drifting. I really do like the game, but the gameplay and the story is a little bit repetitive. There's certain things that come in during the second disc, which I'm not going to go into, but the story becomes different. You start going into the homicide, you start dealing with different cases. But at the current price, I'd highly recommend the game. So next time, so that's the end of my LA Noire review. And next week, I will be reviewing Tomb Raider for the Xbox 360. So thanks for watching my review, guys, and I will see you next video.